Yeah, welcome to my top 10 tips after a fractured ankle. As the title suggests, I fractured my ankle about 8 weeks ago now. Had surgery, like everybody who's probably here, put in casts and stuff like that. And I just thought I'll share uh, 10 tips that have helped me and may help anybody out there. Um, it's not an advice. I'm not a medical professional, but it's just from the experience of my case. I hope it helps anyone. The first thing is number one is accident. Um, Whatever happened to anybody here, and I guess that's why most people have tuned in here. Whatever has happened is probably an accident. And accidents happen. They happen to the best of us. So the first thing is to get your mindset telling you that you know what, whatever happened was an accident, and that's it. We need to move on from there. I went to play football. I've been playing it for 25 years. No major incident. Fell very awkwardly. Ended up with two fractured bones and a ruptured ligament, and that was it. You know. So the first thing is just to get your mindset around understanding that whatever happened was an accident, and that way your mind will move on from there. From that start on, all you need to focus on is getting better and recovery. The second point is I mentioned it's called pain. Your journey from beginning to the end, however long it takes, whether months, weeks, years, is all about pain and pain management. Um, if you haven't had surgery yet, you will feel an enormous amount of pain after you've had the surgery. The pain I felt, unbelievable. To to actually make the day I had my surgery. After that, I slept in the hospital and nobody slept in my ward because I was screaming the place down. And which comes to a point of, if you need to use painkillers, just use them. Never chase the pain, which was my first mistake. I felt, okay, I'm not feeling the pain at the moment. The nurse came and said, do you want your medicine? And I said, no, I'm okay. I'll cope for the moment. And what happened later was when the pain came, the meds couldn't really cope with it. So use the meds for however long you need to use it for. I used mine for about, I'd say 5 weeks after surgery. I was still using meds. Now I don't use them anymore. I'm 8 weeks post surgery. I'm okay now. I only use it every once in a while when maybe I exercise and I feel a bit sore. But apart from that, so which means the pain will get better. If you're watching this now and you're in extreme pain, it will get better. I had different issues. I had pins and needles. I had what you call, some of you may be feeling like electric shocks. I had to go back to the hospital. They said I had neuropathy or something like that. They gave me meds for that. My feet were feeling cold, but I'm gone past that now. So if I'm past it, you will get past it. The third point is mind. Your mind will play tricks on you, you know. Your mind will ask so many questions. Your mind will tell you, ask you, am I ever going to walk again? Am I going to have a limp when I walk? Will I ever get better? Oh, no, it's not working. Oh, I can't walk on the foot. Your mind will play games on you. The biggest thing about this is to get your mind right and not allow your mind to get the better of you. Stay positive, be positive. One thing I've noticed is most of the people I've met so many people, because when you have this injury and you go out, people usually ask, "Oh, what happened? I fractured my foot." The next thing they're gonna say is, how did you do it?" You tell them, and then next thing they say is, "Oh, my sister had that." she's okay now. Oh, my neighbor fell down the stairs the other day. Oh, he's fine. Oh, somebody fell over his dog the other day, and so the success rate for a fractured ankle is extremely high. I have what you call the surgery I had is what you call an ORIF. Some of you may know it. I think it's called open reconstruction and internal fixation. I still can't walk on the foot. I've got my what you call a moon boot or walking boot that I still exercise in, but I'm way better than I was a couple of months or weeks ago. So that's the third point. The fourth point is it's called equipment. Make sure you buy anything that will make you feel better. Anything that you feel, oh yeah, um, if I get this, it will help me. Just go for it. Don't even dawdle. And I'll tell you my case. When I got to the hospital after my surgery, they gave me crutches. I found them extremely difficult to use. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a bit lazy. Maybe because I'm a big dude and I've got quite a lot of upper body weight. I found them extremely difficult. So I got a walker. The ones that these old people use. So I came home. The crutches were downstairs. I used the walker upstairs, and it was still very difficult for me. So what I did was I got online and I bought what you call a knee. I think it's called a knee scooter. It's one of these scooters where you put your knee on and you sort of stroll around. You can search it on the internet. I hired it. I didn't even buy it. So I pay X amount per week. But I tell you what, that was my lifesaver. An extremely lifesaver. Because the thing about crutches is when you're using them, you can't use your hands. Your hands are totally, and if there's nobody at home, you're left to your own devices. So, any equipment that will help you. I bought a stool to use in my shower. So when I have a shower, I sit down to take a shower. Before, when I had a cast, I bought this. I don't know what you call it. It's like a rubber thing. It's got an elastic round the top. You wait on top of your cast, and then you can have a bath so that the cast doesn't get wet. I bought that. As I said earlier, my feet were extremely cold. I think because of the nerves or something, so I had to buy something for that, like a cover. I got that on Amazon. I bought a foot warmer. So I bought loads of things just to make myself comfortable. You know, so anything to make yourself comfortable, try and get it. It may be worth its weight in gold. The next point is what I call equipment. No, the next point, sorry, we've spoken about that. Rice. Um, Before you leave the hospital, the surgeon, the nurse, they will all tell you elevate, 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 elevate. I can't stress that enough. In my case, elevation was extremely difficult for me. And the reason why was because, when they did the surgery, they cut both sides of my ankle to do the surgery. So whenever I put my foot down, it was just extremely painful. So I couldn't really, I don't think I elevated as much as I should have. Um, but I bought something, again, talking about equipment, I bought like a cushion from Amazon that helped me elevate. So elevation should, in quote, bring the swelling down. That's what they say. Another thing that I've been advised is that ice, especially once you come out of the cast, normally your foot may be swollen. So applying ice to it may help. We've talked about medication earlier. Make sure you take your vitamins, especially vitamin D and vitamin C. Um, what else is there? Oh, another thing is when I came out of the cast, my foot was extremely swollen. So when I went to the physio, I complained, and they said one of the things they advised me to do, it may work for you, I don't know, is what they call I'm trying to remember the name now, but it's where you put your foot in cold water, then warm water, then cold water, then warm water. And what that's supposed to do is, I think it's supposed to open the veins or the arteries or something and reduce the swelling. So check that out, investigate that, do some research. Maybe it will help you. The next point is called appreciate. And this is what will most likely happen is you will most likely not be on your own when you come home from hospital. It's not that kind of injury where you can stay alone. You will need help, So grab any help you can get from anybody. When people call you and they say, "Oh, hello, how are you? How you doing? Is there anything you need?" If you need, just tell them there and then. If you don't tell them there and then, just say, "Oh, yeah, I may need you later." Call on them because I tell you, you will need help. So use all the friends you have, use all the friendship you have. If you've got family close, you may be lucky. And that's when it comes to appreciation. Make sure you tell whoever is helping you, make sure you tell them thank you. Make sure you tell them how you feel about them. Make sure you tell them. Don't take them for granted. My wife looked after me, and she was at home most of the time, and she was fantastic. My kids too. I'm lucky to have two grown-up kids who also helped out as well. So make sure you appreciate. Next thing is you have to be extremely careful because what tends to happen is most of the time, and this is for people who are not load bearing. Because you're not load bearing, you're depending on one foot. Because you're depending on one foot, you may tend to be clumsy. It's extremely hard training the body, not to put the other foot down, getting up from bed, going to the loo, getting up the stairs, getting up from the chair. I'm sure a lot of you listening or watching will be nodding their heads going, yeah, it's right. So because of that, you are very, very likely to be clumsy. And if you're not careful, you may have other accidents. So be extremely careful. Take your time. Nobody's chasing you for anything. Take your time. Take it easy. Don't overdo. We tend to want to heal so fast, but just take your time. Things will heal in time. You can't cheat nature. That's one thing I've learned. You can't cheat nature. Nature will take its time. The eighth point is called time, and that's why I'm doing this podcast or video here. You will need to find something to fill your time, because you will have a lot of me time. You will have a lot of lonely time. You will have a lot of time to yourself. And remember, we talked about mind games earlier. So in order for the mind games not to set in, you need to find time to occupy your mind. And, do anything you like. That thing you've always wanted to do that you never got round to it? Try it. Learn a new language. Read a book. Start on series, TV series. Watch movies. Anything that will occupy your mind. This is what occupies my mind. I'm a part-time DJ, and when I get bored, when I've got nothing to do, I just go on the decks and fill my time, and that gets my mind off a lot of things. So, try and find something that you can use your time to occupy yourself. If you don't even know what to do, this podcast I'm doing or this video is one of my ideas that I had that, maybe I should do a video on YouTube. How long will it take? How do I prepare for it? What do I talk about? Will it be interesting? Will it be bored? It's not a race. I'm not doing it for the likes. If it can help one person, fine. If it doesn't help anybody, fine. But at least I've used my time sort of wisely or to do something. So find something to occupy your time. You will have a lot of time, weeks of time. That's the eighth one. The ninth one is about diet. You have to eat well. you must eat well. There's no substitute. They'll probably tell you in the hospital once you finish your surgery. You need to take your vitamins. You need to have a balanced diet because it's amazing how the body heals. The body needs nutrients. The body needs energy. They need carbohydrates. Forget about getting fat for this at this point in time. Your main priority is to get your body to heal. And for your body to heal, it needs nourishment. So make sure you eat well. If you can eat 3 square meals, I know it may not be easy for some, but just put that at the back of your mind that nourishment heals. So make sure you eat well. I'm lucky to have somebody who's been cooking for me, so I've been eating well. Very, very fortunate. I'm very, 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 very lucky. I know some people out there are not that lucky, but if you can, try and eat well. On to the last one, the 10th one, exercise. The fact that you're house ridden, bedridden, elevating doesn't mean that you should not exercise. One of the things I used to do when my foot was in a cast is at least wriggle my toes every so often, stretch the toes up, down, up, down, up, down. And then I went on YouTube one day and I thought, but there must be other exercises I can do with my hands. And then I started exercising with my hands as well, shoulders, neck. So do some exercise just to keep your mind, body, and soul together. Get that back creaking, everything. And that should be it. As I said, my case, I'm 8 weeks post surgery now, going into my 9th week, still doing some physio. I don't know how long it would take me to get out of the boot. And that is another thing, probably my 11th point. Make sure you don't compare notes, because the fact that somebody took, I don't know, 12 weeks to heal doesn't mean you will take 12 weeks to heal, because there are a lot of factors that come into play: age, height, weight, natural disposition, where you live, what you eat, where you're from, whether you're American, you're African, your bone density, your height. Everything plays a role on how you get better. And so the fact that you watch a YouTube channel and somebody says, "Oh, I did this and I was out and I was working at this point in time," doesn't mean you can. You can use it as a guideline, but please don't use it as gospel, because it may not be the case. And yeah, my name is DJ Tade. I hope this works for somebody, some people, and I may or may not do another video on this. I don't know, but that's it. My 10 tips. Thank you. Out.